I'm Jadene Ferreira.
I'm Madison.
Madison is on our Skating Success team, and we just thought today would be a really fun day to sit down and talk. Okay, I thought today would be a really fun day to sit down and talk to Madison. Not everybody loves doing videos, but you know what? We got to practice. We got to get good at them. And
Sure.
To be honest, I don't want people to miss out on you just because, you know, they might not know you or live here.
Very true.
So why would we hide you from the world? That's the problem, okay? You're gonna want to get to know Madison. And I have a few cool things. We're doing like a very relaxed interview style today, but I wanted to ask Madison about her process in skating and her transition recently, last year,
Very
I guess.
recently.
Yeah, in the last 6 to 8 months, becoming a coach and stepping into that. So, are you ready? Ish. I know. I actually thought we should do like a dance intro because I felt like we would usually do that on the ice, right? We would do like a warm up. So like if we had kind of background music, we could just, no, we would do that in sync. See, look at that. So choreographed. I love her. I love her. Okay, let's jump right into the interview. Okay, for those of you at home, I have not prepped her with the questions.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's not the best idea, but you know what? Sometimes you get the best answers out of people because they're not thinking ahead, right? What do I always say about skating? Skating is a feeling, not a...
Thinking.
You've heard me say that if you've come to a master class. I think people overthink things in skating a lot.
100%. And that is all I did as a skater.
Really? Tell me more about that. Let's start there.
So with skating, I was always in my head. I had issues performing because I was just so in my own brain. I didn't think to perform for other people as much, and took a lot to get from where I started to kind of at the end of my skating career almost with gold artistic.
But you're still overlapping because you're going to do it one more time.
One more time. One last time.
Yeah, one last time. Well, that's like the song. One more time, right? Isn't that a song? Yes?
Yes, but I don't know all the words.
Okay, all right, that's probably the only lyric. Anyways, yes. So you have had a transition with that, right, with performing?
100%. Just from getting on the ice for the first time, being like, what's going on? And slowly working towards making eye contact and interacting with audience, performing for others as well, more myself now.
Ooh, okay.
Like, kind of wanting to share what I feel as a skater and make them feel the way I feel, kind of deal.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute. I think I just got it. I think what you just explained was really epic because what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say anyway, is that once you got out of your own head making it all about you and then made it about your audience more, that in turn gave you more of a voice to tell your own story. Yes?
Yes.
That's a high five moment. Yes, it is! What? That is great. That's a great way of describing it because some people are shy. They don't naturally perform, right?
Yeah, I was always very shy as a kid and on the ice too, so slowly growing out of that to where I am now.
I love it. And so your most recent performance was that November, probably?
Yeah, November, first time with my Shameless Gold Artistic.
It's called Shameless. Just saying. It's really fun, you guys. It's a Camila Cabello song. Look it up. It's a really great song.
True.
Yeah. So how did you feel now that you kind of have a new way of performing, or like you've evolved? How did you feel in that performance? Do you remember?
I was so nervous going into it because it's completely different than any of my other programs.
It's true.
It's a lot more out there, a lot more outspoken, and once I was done that program for the first time, I don't know, it was liberating. I was so happy.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was like, cause I was there watching you and coaching you, and like you were liberated. Like it looked very free. Looked very free.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I never had really an intention of pleasing the judges.
Ooh.
Well, you know that ending.
Well, I was gonna bring it up, and then I thought we should. Okay, we did this slide thing that we thought would be an illegal ending, but then we decided we loved it so much that it just happened. Yeah. But then she didn't get a deduction. Heyo.
Thanks, judges.
Yay. So I don't know if that was just an accident. You might get a deduction next time, but I think it's still fabulous.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
It was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is very rich information, and that's why I love interview styles, because when people ask us questions, it brings things out that we wouldn't normally share. right? You wouldn't necessarily just jump
100%.
on the camera and tell us that.
Hey guys, this is my life story.
I'd like to tell you about my journey, my personal. No. All right, so let's move to the next question. What has been the biggest change for you mentally in your approach to skating from being a skater and then transitioning into coach? What is the change in your mentality around skating, if there is one?
I think there's a huge change.
Okay.
From a skater, it's always about yourself, your individuality, and what you can do to make yourself better.
Right.
As a coach, exact opposite. It's about how you can help your skater and the other skaters that are around you, make them better, make them progress. So like the huge flip from like individual, like your little bubble versus like you're giving now versus like taking.
Okay.
It's wild.
That's absolutely it, right? And we've talked about this in Coaches Circle so many times, which has always been at every masterclass. We do the Coaches Circle to start the day, Coaches Circle to end the day. We've talked about this, but now you've taken it online. If you don't know, we have a Coaches Only Facebook group, so you should probably ask to join that because it's super awesome already. But it's the place we can talk about these things, and it is challenging to go from that sort of me to them mentality, right?
Yeah, and then also the teaching of things you already know how to do.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Like the first time I had to teach a 1 foot glide, I was like, I don't know, stand on 1 foot. Like, what? What do you mean you can't stand on 1 foot?
It makes so much sense. Like, just do it.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And it just keeps going from there. Oh, how do I teach a sit spin? How do I teach a single Lutz?
And then the other direction.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a righty. Everyone in the world's a lefty. Apparently. Or almost.
You're unique and special. Yes. No, you are. But you're right. That is another thing, is how do I then flip this in my body and describe this in a different way? Right?
Yeah, that's a whole nother challenge in itself, but it's kind of fun. I've started spinning the other way too.
It is super fun. I was going to say to spin the other way, right? It's a blast. Well, it seems to me, and I've gotten the pleasure of coaching with you many times, and you've assisted me a lot, which is amazing, but I get the sense that you're really in it for the right reasons, right? The coaching, like, it really speaks to you.
Yeah, well, first time I coached, I don't know, I just kind of got thrown into it. It was just like, hey, like, can you teach this kid real quick? Like, okay, sure. And just after it, I was so happy, because it's a completely different feeling than skating. It's like, okay, I actually helped someone. I was able to make their day better, or like, I don't know.
Dude, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Yeah, all about the love.
It's all about the love. No, really. And, you know, I think skating becomes like one of the primary loves of our life, right? If you're in it like we are. I mean, it's not, and to me, I don't know about how you feel about this. It's not that I'm obsessed with the sport, but I'm obsessed with what you just said, which is the difference it makes in other people's lives, right?
And with skating, it teaches you so many more things than just skating. It's a whole life skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
It helps you with socializing. It helps you with being effective in your work and setting goals and getting through difficulties, and as well as celebrating the great things.
Absolutely.
So,
and everything else in life seems easier because your first thought, if you're like me, is at least I'm wearing pants. Yes?
So true.
At least I'm wearing
Your dress
pants.
is, like up to here, and you're like, woo.
Like, it's so naked. Our sport is so naked. You're wearing nothing. Then you fall on your butt and you're like in front of everyone. You're like, oh, this is good. So,
and then
really,
wet and covered in snow, and you're like, okay, now I have to stand up and keep going.
Yeah, like the fact that you go to a job interview, like literally, I used to think, well, I'm clothed. That's first. Just felt like an amazing upswings, you know, from being on my butt. Okay.
Fair point.
Last piece I want to weave into this, because of course, as you know, with working with us, you know, very closely as a skater and also as a coach, we developed this masterclass series. We developed an entire company around this entire idea of giving to more people than we can possibly imagine. I mean, I know it's crazy, but we want to help as many humans as possible. I know. It's a big goal, but you know what? Big goals always stretch you, right?
100%.
Yeah, they make you bigger, they make you stronger. And I'm just really curious for those watching and those listening. Like, some people have never attended a masterclass. Why is it different than a regular seminar? Like, I get these questions like, well, why would we do that when we can just do like another type of seminar? And I'm just going, you can do it all. You can do all of it, right? But what I want to hear from you is, what are some of the experiences, it could be as a coach or as a skater, that you had at masterclasses that gave you like part of the pieces of that puzzle to be an amazing skater, performer, coach? Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I want you to give me what you think, and be totally honest, right? Of what was it like to attend, right? Or be part of it.
Yeah, for sure. As a skater, I attended a couple of the first ones. I did Axel, Snap, I think, and then I did for sure Spin to Win, because spins are my favorite.
You do
hands
love
down,
spins.
hands down. And it was such a fun experience because I was able to learn new things from a new perspective, because obviously coaches all don't coach the same. So it was nice to hear a new perspective as well. The video with Ben on the Dartfish, that was awesome. And then you could see other people's jumps and spins as well, slowed down, and you can kind of analyze it. So you're like, if I look like that, I can change that as well, kind of help you progress as well from other people being there.
I love it. So you're having an atmosphere, you're having like feedback from the coach, the technology, the other people, that whole environment, right?
Yeah, it's such a good environment to be in, and you also make a lot of friends because you're there the whole day with these people, and you get to hear their stories, kind of where they're coming from, the difficulties they've had, as well the triumphs, and you can bring that together and use it for your own experience. A little selfish, but you know.
Oh, selfish is good, man. Self-care, self-care. Just remember, Valentine's Day is taking care of yourself is number one, right? You can't give what you don't have.
I need all those chocolates.
That's the chocolates. We all love chocolate. I think it's a skater thing.
It's so true, though.
I think so. Yeah. Well, that's very cool to hear. Very cool to hear. Just because I know what we've created is intentional, but we still don't know how it's 100% received unless we ask, right?
No, 100% true.
Like, I could be like, oh, it's great. And then you're like, yeah, but this was not the best. Okay, great. Let's fix that. Let's figure that out. So it's, I mean, obviously you've known me long enough to tell me if you didn't like it, or I would just notice that she didn't sign up again probably, but.
I'd be like, oh yeah, the masterclass. Oh,
yeah,
forgot
I was
about
gonna
it.
skip it. No. So now, as a coach, if we sort of segue there, because I know a lot of coaches watch this stuff. We'll probably put this in the coaches circle. Yeah. What do you think from a coaching perspective? Because we do intentionally give time to coaches and include coaches 100% in the experience. And one of the things we're trying to do with that is help people fast track to their own skating success. Right? Coaches have so much to learn these days. We don't want you to feel alone, ever, and B, we don't want you to have to go through the 10 or 15 years to learn something that you could learn at a masterclass, or just being in the circle, or being part of a community where you're supported. So, what do you think from now the coaching perspective?
100% agree with all of that. Going into my first masterclass as a coach, no idea what I was doing. I was like, I'm used to being a skater, like, do I stand here and watch? What do I do? And all the coaches made me feel super welcome, and they were like, okay, like, do you have any questions? Do you want any feedback? Like, feel free. Just, they were super open, which was really nice, because I am like a new and young coach, so I don't know everything yet.
And just to be clear, you're not talking about people we hired.
No,
I'm talking about
all the other coaches that were there.
Environment, yes. Yes.
All the other coaches from Calgary, Red Deer, wherever, I don't know. But they're all great, and they want to learn just as much as I want to learn, which is really nice, because it makes me realize that coaching is a continuously learning thing.
Amen.
Like,
hello.
There's no end.
No.
100%. And as well, I wasn't overwhelmed with the information as a new coach, because
when you first started, it felt like too much.
Slightly.
You're right.
Slightly.
Yes.
But they were able to kind of be like, okay, this is the really important thing. Focus on that first, and then you can kind of work on this afterwards.
I love it.
And they were all great, honestly.
That's so cool, because it means that you didn't feel like an outsider just because you were new as a coach,
no,
right?
not at all. Felt like I knew these people probably as long as you saw them.
It's so great, right? We're creating community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
it's
you don't.
so important. It really is.
Yeah,
And you don't realize it until you're there and you're like, wow.
absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a high five moment. Dude, I'm telling you, like it's just inspiring to me because having seen you as a skater and then gotten to work with you, which was awesome, and we did different programs, different routines, free skate, artistic, lots of stuff, right?
Yeah,
triathlon champion right here. So we got to do a lot of cool stuff where I was in the leadership role, I guess, with you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so awesome. I dare say even better to watch you step into your own leadership, right?
Oh.
Truthfully, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point of coaching, is that you're helping other people step into their own power. And then what
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be able to create for so many more people because of the support that you feel, right?
Yeah, and continue that on as every coach wants to do. Just help other people and make them achieve their dreams. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. So what would you say to somebody who said the masterclass is too hard to organize, or it's too expensive, or what are some great excuses? Oh, we just don't have time to do that. You know, something like that. If you're talking to another colleague, another coach, what would your thoughts immediately be around that?
Immediately?
Yeah, immediately.
You're crazy.
Okay. I didn't plan that. Okay, why? Why are they crazy?
Because, okay, yeah, it's a lot of work, but once you get into it, it's a long day, but for sure, you're exhausted and probably want to have a nap. But so much you learn. It's all condensed. You can write notes if you forget or you feel like you might forget, but you learn so much on this one topic in such a short amount of time that you're never going to experience again through a masterclass. It's one in a lifetime opportunity, I think, as especially a coach, because yeah, I've sat in on other people's lessons, I've talked to other people, but when I went to a masterclass, you heard as well your and Ben's perspectives and how you would teach this as well, all the exercises you guys use, and then also the other coaches, they're like, oh yeah, like what about this? They're like, oh, focus on this so you can help this with this exercise. And you're like, okay, so it's all this information all in one, all different perspectives that you can use for yourself. And as a skater, same thing. All the different coaches are there to help you.
Yeah.
They want to help. And you can use it to your advantage. All these different perspectives pulling together to make it the easiest for you.
So cool, because it sounds like accelerated learning, which is really 100%. The intention, right? I mean, a lot of people will say, well, why did you guys make a masterclass series? Why didn't you just do seminars? And we did for a long time, and we loved it. Like, loved it. That's why we still created a seminar company at the end of the day. But we really wanted to dig deeper. We would be like doing 20 minutes on an axle, and then it was like, move on. We're like, whoa, like, it's really hard to teach an axle in 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
As you guys know, doing 15-minute lessons, it's really challenging. But guess what? When you teach it in 8 hours, you go all the way into it. It gets in your cells. It gets in your body. It gets in your language as a coach, because you're repeating
100%.
things. You know, you're leaving with it just as part of your lingo, and you don't have to try so hard. It's just going to be in there.
Yeah,
right?
and you understand the process more from the start to the end, where they could be landing an axle.
Yeah.
And all the steps in between to get there. It's really useful, as
So
well
great.
as skater. Okay, maybe your jump's not working that day, your spin's not working, go back to the basics, because you learn them again. You need a refresher.
Yeah.
As a skater, we forget things all the time.
Yeah.
Don't know how to do 1 foot glide, as I was saying.
Let me just show ya. No.
Exactly, but you guys start with the basics and progress it from there, and use all these exercises with all the important things, the fundamentals that make the spins or jumps better.
Or choreography.
Or choreography.
Same thing.
Sure.
You have a choreography masterclass. Don't
Yes.
forget, people. Yes. Absolutely.
So you can use all of that and go back to the basics to help the new stuff.
Yeah.
You want to add a variation? Okay, you need to have that spin by itself.
Yeah.
Way better. So you can make that variation the best it possibly can be.
I love it.
And you guys are always super good with helping the process and using all these little tips and tricks and exercises so it is the best it can be. and you can use it for yourself. So.
I can't make this stuff up, you guys. I love it. Thank you so much. I know being interviewed is kind of weird when you start, but
A little bit.
I hope you see now that it's also helpful to get things out of your mind, and sometimes you even realize, oh, I know more about this than I think. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you
That's
for being
true.
willing to be interviewed. So,
Thank you for interviewing me.
of course. All right, you guys. Until next time, enjoy your training and your coaching, and any way we can help, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Give us your feedback, your thoughts, but truly everything we're doing is to try to share this vision of team coaching, support, skaters having accelerated success, and that is why we call it skating success. Just saying. Okay, great job. Yes. Oh, my watch doesn't want to. Danny, we need you to turn us off. Outtakes. No, outtake dance.
It doesn't turn it off.
I don't know, my watch just stopped. Yeah. Okay, we're on.
Okay.